Hopefully this is working. Okay. If the recording doesn't work, oh well, we just have our lucky live folks here today witnessing our annual meeting. Okay, so thank you for joining. So sorry about the technical difficulties. We're blaming the planets and the solar flares and the satellites and who knows. But it's been a while since we have done one of these. So very exciting to finally be back on, and we're just basically going to talk about where we have been for the past year, some really big announcements that we're in the middle of, and also what we are planning next. So I'm going to go to the next slide. And our first big announcement is about one of our board members who just finished 6 years.
Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea Kalous, and I am one of the board members that joined over the past year. And I live in Seattle, Washington, and I'm a physician there. I want to just acknowledge Tara's important service to this organization, both as an artist, a veteran, and a board member. And we are so grateful for her contributions in all of those arenas. Her presence on the board this past year at our meetings was always one that truly championed Frontline Arts, and I'm very grateful to have met her through that capacity and thank her so much for her service to Frontline.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Tara's a really incredible artist as well, and a West Point graduate, and it's been so amazing to work with her since I think she took one of my classes back in 2017 when she first came to the studio, and then started joining our Frontline Paper program as well. So Tara is an incredible artist and human being. It's been such a privilege and amazing that she did the full 6 years. And also she was the secretary for 2 years of that time. So thank you, Tara, for your amazing service. We love you, and we're excited about what's next.
Okay. Well, as with Tara's departure, who again, and echoing what Andrea and Rachel have shared about Tara, she'll be missed, but she is never too far away from our organization. We're also exploring and bringing in new board members, and one of them happens to be on our call today, Dot Paolo, and she is currently owner of a Rabbit Art Gallery, right, sorry, right here in New Jersey, and she is an artist, a supporter, has known our organization for many years, and we are excited about her nomination right now. So Dot is going to be meeting with a couple of board members in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully after she's had an opportunity to soak us all in and hopefully walk with fire, she'll be joining us officially. So there'll be more information that we'll be sharing down the road with regards to our nominees. Again, if anyone is also interested in joining the organization as a board member, please feel free to reach out to us as well. We're always looking for more folks to be a part of this amazing community. And forgive me, I did not introduce myself. My name is Giannina Seaman. I am the board president of this illustrious organization. I've been on the board for several years now, and so again, navigating through a lot of change and looking forward to potentially bringing in some new talent into our organization. So with that, I think I'm gonna just I'm gonna hand it back to you, Rachel.
Okay, I was just trying to post something in the stories.
You're on mute.
I was just trying to post something in the stories at the same time.
No worries.
Okay, got that done. All right, so now I will be talking about our strategic planning process. So in the past, basically 7 months Since January, we have been working on our 2025 to 27 strategic plan, and we had been working with consultant Sarah Westlake of Flannel and Blade. They are the agency currently being used by the Creative Forces team with the NEA and MAAA. So Sarah has amazing experience and is a storyteller, editor, cultural producer, and networker of 20 years. So we did the traditional approach. We reviewed the previous plan, conducted environmental and SWOT analysis, plus we selected our visioning and strategic priorities to draft the new plan. So our priorities in order, number 1 is funding, fundraising, and earned income, then staffing and volunteers, then programming, then brand and marketing. So these are the focus areas that we are looking to streamline, to restructure, to shore up, to make sure that everything meets our mission and funding matrix, so that we have the best guide to take us through the next few years. So this plan is going to be finalized by our incoming team and board, along with input from you, our members. And we will be also focusing on acquiring grants for capital change and capacity building so that we can even make these changes in the first place. And the big announcement. Sorry for the extra suspense with the tech delays here. So yes, I am stepping down from Frontline Arts. This is going to be my last week, and it has been 10 years that I have been with this organization since September of 2014, so just under, back when we were also still the Printmaking Center of New Jersey. So it's this isn't a really emotional thing to do. This organization is very near and dear to my heart. I've dedicated a quarter of my life to it, and yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm going to miss everybody very, very much. And it's been an incredible journey meeting all of you. This is an amazing team. I'm not saying goodbye personally to anyone at all. But if anyone is curious, I am basically moving on to focus on my own artistic career, myself as an artist again, and to do some traveling. So yeah, anyway, I'll take it over to Janina to transition into the next slide about what we are doing about the transition.
So before we go into the transition, I just want to take a moment to also personally thank Rachel for the guidance, the support, for being a friend and partner these past few years. It has been an honor knowing you and working with you, and you will be missed, but you will never be far from us. And I know I can probably pick up the phone and call you post your tenure with us, and continue with our conversations as we normally have. So I just want to say thank you again for everything you've done, and your words can't express how much you mean to me, and I think also what you mean to the organization, to Frontline, to the community, all the lives you've touched, because you have touched so many people, Rachel. Like, you have. And so please carry that with you, that you've made an impact with us. And so, so I look forward to following you on Instagram and seeing all your stories and all your adventures, and potentially filling my home with some of your artwork. I already have one of your pieces. So, so with that, we will talk a little bit more about the search for, you know, an interim executive director. And so we have engaged an organization called the Support Center, and they are currently assisting us with sourcing for an interim executive director. They have a network, an amazing, deep network of individuals who have worked in this space, who understand the work in the arts world, and as of Friday, breaking news, I did receive 3 candidates that I'll be sharing with our board team to kind of look through their resumes, and hopefully we'll be making some decisions pretty soon in terms of this individual coming on board. And just to clarify, the interim director for us is going to be an individual who's going to continue some of the things that we've had put together, we were working through on our strategic plan, but will also inevitably assist us with sourcing a more a regular executive director. This is not the individual replacing Rachel. For those listening, this is an individual who will help us in the search of and also help us through our strategic plan, put things in or begin things for us before we bring in someone who will really then take up what Rachel left for as an executive director. So excited that we've got some candidates. I'm super going to be sending these out and looking forward to the feedback from the board so that we can make a decision, and we'll be notifying folks once the decisions are made about who that individual will be. So with that, I believe, Rachel, I hand this back to you.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Janina. And I was really trying not to cry. Don't make me cry. But thank you for your amazing work in working with the search firm. I'm very excited. I actually just mentioned when I was speaking to the Dodge Foundation about our recent grant, and they also have great words to say about the support center. They're based out of Manhattan. So good folks, good team we're working with. I'm confident that everyone is in good hands. So I'm going to hand this over to Ron for some updates.
Yeah, hi everybody. I am Ron Erickson. I'm the program manager for Frontline Paper. And Rachel, we are going to miss you. You came on, I think, about 6 months before me into this position, and you have blown me away. To go from artist to a leader of an organization like this, and to do what you have done for us is just. It was incredible to watch, and it was really a pleasure to work with you. I'm going to really miss you. So Frontline Paper is at a little bit of a transition also. We just finished a 2-year grant with the NEA and the Mid-Atlantic Arts Alliance. They gave us a Creative Forces grant, which was, I believe, one of Rachel's, greatest moments. That a few years ago we'd gotten a small grant, which also one of her great moments. We gotten a small grant from Warner Media, and right around the same time this Creative Forces thing came up. So she was writing, and with the help of Hugo, I believe, writing 2 grants at the same time, and. The Creative Forces grant has been a really great thing for us. It really allowed us to dig in and do things that maybe we hadn't had the ability to do. Just looking at the notes here, 97 Sunday workshops. It supported our Sunday workshops, which were completely volunteer and supported by Frontline Arts financially. So that gave us a little bit of financial help on Sundays. There were 9 mobile workshops that we did with partner organizations, and we also had 9 special instruction workshops. And then Hugo and Rachel also put together a really great blog post, which has been shared by Creative Forces. And so, it's the end of a really intensive 2 years. But I was talking to Walt about this, and I said, well, hopefully we've got a really great fall coming up. I've been talking to a lot of different people, got some quotes out, and going to get some more quotes out. So we are not coming to any sort of standstill at all with Frontline Paper. It was one of the questions in the Creative Forces wrap-up questionnaire. You know, what do you think will happen? We're going to continue marching on. People are so we've got a couple possibilities with East Orange Veteran Administration, as well as Hudson Valley healthcare system. I just got a call and actually just spoke to a man out in Reading, Pennsylvania, who had seen us in Trenton. His son actually sings with I can see the Lotus Project, and he's got quite a nonprofit out there, and he wants to try to put some of the money that they raised towards bringing us out to Reading. I mean, it's a little bit of a haul to get out there, but that's very hopeful. What else? Oh, and yes, we have another artist in residence coming. On August 3rd, he'll be coming out. His name is Jose De Vera, and he's from St. Louis. He's an amazing artist. I mean, I'm talking, you know, world-class art. Yeah, we're in good shape, and you know, we're going to continue on. We're going to miss you so much, Rachel. All right. All right, that's it. I think I covered everything. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ron. I know I tapped you on the shoulder as soon as I became the director for you to take Dave's place as the program manager while he was director. Yeah, you absolutely stepped into that role. I think we both did a similar thing at the same time. I was like, well, here we go. We're at the wheel. Let's go. And you've done an amazing job. So I really, really appreciate it. And I know you'll continue on to do great, amazing things with the program. So thank you. And yes, I think we have some great inquiries this fall. And Reading's where my family's from. And that was my first arts job at the Goggle Works. So keep in touch. Let me know. I might be around. Okay, now I'm going to hand it over to Kath, and Kath will also be intensively working with Joe De Vera this August. So take it away.
I just want to echo a couple things. Tara's contributed, like, I mean, she's a total, I mean, what a person to look up to, you know, her achievements and being able to meet her over the past couple of years have been awesome. So I hope we still see her around, you know, still gets to come in on Sundays and, you know, just keep making that incredible art she makes. Similarly, Rachel, we're going to miss the hell out of you. We know you're not too far away. I mean, maybe location, but, you know, like Janina said, you know, we can still see how you're doing and follow your shenanigans on Instagram. So that's exciting. And again, I'm very excited to work with Joe. His project's really starting to come together. I'm really excited about a collaborative book project. We're going to do screen, I believe, for the most of it. So it'll be pretty cool. With that, so I should introduce myself. I'm Kath. I'm the studio tech. I've been taking over programming and coding. So a few things that are coming up. We've had some really great classes so far this year. We have 2 more summer classes left. Bookmaking for everyone with Dave DeMarchi. If anyone hasn't taken a class with Dave, I definitely recommend that they should. Dave is an incredible instructor. This class, I believe you're making like an amazing amount of books. I don't want to like say a number and then be wrong, but it's more than 5 that you're going to be walking away with. So that is incredible. I mean, a lot of different processes really quick. I'm teaching a reductive screen printing class at the end of August. And we're aiming to have all of our fall classes out by August 1st. The deadline for proposals is, in fact, tomorrow. So if you know anyone that really wants to teach a printmaking class at Frontline, all of that information is on our website. So mobile workshops coming up. We have the Heart Festival at the Art Institute of Middlesex. That'll be really fun. we'll be doing some variegated rolls on a carved vinyl block for them. That's from 2 to 6. And then the jazz party, Roaring Twenties, will be back at East Jersey Old Town Village. It's usually a pretty big, fun event. We'll be pulling paper and we'll be printing on handmade paper on a block that we have carved for them as well. Some studio updates. We will be closed for maintenance on July 23rd and 24th. That maintenance just entails cleaning the presses, making sure if there is anything that's down, we kind of get it fixed. We do like an intensive clean. We sharpen the beater, some things like that, just to make sure that everything is at its tip top best. I'll check out the exposure unit and make sure that's all good. Following that, I guess this is, Mark Olin's exhibition goes through the end of the month. And then this Friday at 6 p.m. is his artist talk in the gallery. So please be on the lookout for that if anybody is interested. I'm also trying to put something together for after that talk. It's, at 7:30 or so if anybody is around the area. So look for an email of that as well if you like pizza. So and again, we're working on more things, always trying to find ways to expand youth programming and some of the other programs that we have here at Frontline. So if you have anything that you're interested, let me know.
Thank you, Kath, and thank you for also doing a great job and stepping in and jumping into your role. We've had a really great roster of classes with everything you have done. So, Hugo, I'm going to hand it over to you as the grant writing assistant and content editor. What do we have going on in the pipeline for grants?
Hi, can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, so hi, just to introduce myself real quick, my name is Hugo Gattaca. I'm the grant assistant and content editor for Frontline Arts. And before I get into that, I want to say my quick piece about Rachel. So Rachel took me in as an intern from way back in 2009, and then 5 years later, I've learned so much underneath her wing. And I feel like thanks to that kind of connection that she gave me, it made me feel more passionate and more. I feel like Frontline Arts is like a second family to me. So I feel very passionate about doing as much as I can in her departure. And I feel like I may never step up into your shoes that you fill in, but I want to do as much as I can to at least honor the work that you committed to Frontline Arts. So thank you again, Rachel. You've been one of my dearest friends to me, and I hope I hear more from you in the future. And speaking for grants right now, as we can see in the first point, we received at least $20,000 on GOS grant from the Geraldine R. Dow's Foundation. That's one of the biggest grant awards we can receive this year, and it's going to help us out. It's going to help us out tremendously in the next few months coming in. Aside from that, at this very moment, I'm working on with Rachel on the NEA MMA Creative Forces grant and the NJSCA GOS for FY24. So this is going to be the last few grants we're going to be working on in July before we start getting ready for the next set in the fall. Other than that, we are waiting on new FY25 3-year NGSA GOS amount, and that should be announced somewhere July 30th. That should give us enough time to hear about it before we get on to the next part. We're also planning on applying to the NJ Cultural Trust Financial Stabilization Grant in August. And following that, we do have awards that we're trying to wait to hear on. So that includes Church and Dwight in November. And we do have other LOIs that we have applied to or will apply to before summer ends. And that should help us rake in more grant funding for us in our programs. Other than that, though, besides applying for grants as much as we can, I have my eyes and ears on every open solicitation out there. So I'm always going to keep an eye out for capital change, capacity building, strategic planning guidance, GOS, which includes live construction costs with new estimates, Ree Foundation, Grassman, Hyde and Watson. Those are some of the ones that we have in the docket. So aside from the ones that we finished right now and are working on, we have like a whole slew of grants that we're still getting ourselves ready for. They haven't opened up yet, but between Rachel and I, we have them in the docket, and we're working on getting those ready, which includes the Liberated Paths Foundation, the DVNF, and Curtis McGraw. So I'm gonna try my best to step up as much as I can in this position. I'll be the liaison for Frontline Arts as much as I can between this and grants. And I'm going to do my very hardest to make sure that we receive all the funding and donations that we can get from granting.
Great. Thank you so much, Hugo. I really appreciate it. Hugo also jumped in, starting with our blogs after being our intern. Gosh, that happened in 2020 because blogs was just about all we could do at that point after the shutdown. And then he's really grown a lot with grant tracking, and he's also had numerous other jobs for universities on grant teams. So thank you. You've been a huge help in trying to keep track of everything with incoming and outgoing and reports and LOIs for grants. It is a lot of work. So I really appreciate that. And it's hard to, we have well, Lindsay is away this weekend, and so I certainly have to give a shout out to Lindsay as well. She helped put the whole template together for the slideshow. She's our communications director, also started as an intern and then staff in 2019. And I'm blaming not having extra help with the tech gremlins. Lindsay would have immediately saved the day. So thank you for bearing with us. And I believe Walt is here too. And he's another huge part of the Frontline paper team. So we've got a great team here. And thank you to the board as well. So, individuals served. We are currently wrapping up our financials for the year. So, again, why we're doing this right now, our fiscal year end is June 30th, which aligns with the State Arts Council and many other nonprofit fiscal years. So, still sorting through getting the financials completed, but we do have the numbers of people that we served ready to go, thanks to my team helping out. So we had a great year with serving individuals. We actually served over 5,000, which is a 96% increase from last year. That's almost double. And that's really incredible. So over 4,300 adults with live programming, and almost 700 youth, and then over 75,000 virtual impressions from website, socials, and videos. Only 187 were served through paid services, meaning they're renting the studio or they signed up for a workshop that they paid for. But almost 2,400 were served through free participation in the veteran program alone. And then over 3,300 were served by our other free programs, which are our community events, our live streams, our online videos, etc. So we really, rely on grants and donations and other types of funding in order to be able to serve people who are unable to afford otherwise. And I'm also really proud that 60% of our programming was in Somerset County because we do go nationally. We, especially with the veteran program, we travel as far as Kentucky, sometimes Maine, Virginia, even Chicago the year before. But we're really invested in our local area, and we plan to keep upping this even more. And a lot of this has to do with strengthening our relationships, especially in the past year, with adjacent counties, Middlesex and Hunterdon. And this has a lot to do with us having really great partnerships with those counties' arts institutes and their cultural and heritage commissions. So you know who you are. Natalie and Robert and Katie and everyone at our cultural and heritage institutions, and Amanda and Lindsay and everyone at Middlesex and East Jersey Old Town Village. So thanks for having us, and it's really been great to work locally as well. We also, the reason we had a lot of activity was also, again, due to the Creative Forces grant, us being able to take all of these veteran workshops free of charge to institutions and participants around the country for the past 2 years. a growth in adult ed classes, which has been great. And also we had a great increase in free demonstrations, lectures, and workshops just because of the Najiska Special Initiatives Grant that was last October when we brought in Amos Paul Kennedy. Definitely a highlight of programs that we've been able to have. And of course, the Veteran Residency Program, which is funded from the 52 Reasons to Love a Vet Fund. So, our members survey. I know that several of you have already been able to fill this out. Lindsay sent this out last week. We want to make sure that we hear from you. Thank you for being a current, past, recent member. We encourage you to re-up your membership if you are not current, or check in. And we really want to hear from you about what you think about our programs. What do you think about our membership perks, our hours, our classes that we have, anything at all. Your answers are really going to help us as we pivot and figure out what is happening down the pike in the coming years. And your answers will remain anonymous, so be honest. And if you didn't receive the survey, you can email lindsay@frontlinearts.org to receive the link. And you can go to Frontline Arts /membership to get details on and renew your membership. Okay, now I'm going to hand this back over to Andrea for our details on our current summer appeal.
Thank you, Rachel. And it's absolutely true that Rachel has reached far and wide. I am out here in Seattle, and I'm here truly because of Rachel. I mean, I started utilizing this organization's scrub paper during the pandemic, and Rachel reached out, and the Frontline Arts has really supported things that I'm doing with healthcare teams here in Seattle, and it fuels my desire to give back through being a board member, through contributing financially to Frontline Arts. And I just want to say that there is no doubt that this organization does incredible work that reaches people to participate in events that open their eyes to the arts, reaches people in events that opens and heals hearts. I have used paper made by Frontline Arts in workshops for people thinking about medical error. And in one of the replies back from that, somebody replied in their survey back from that workshop to say that the workshop had helped heal hurt they had from a medical error that they had experienced. And I think the work that we do with the materials that Frontline Arts brings into the hands of people just really changes people. So I again say that this organization does really amazing work, and I've seen it firsthand, and I've watched this team do amazing things. All of this work is really made possible through the grant program, which you've just heard about, which is very hard at work, but also really requires gifts and individual donations. And at this point, while all nonprofits tend to run on a very slim margin, the margins are slimmer than ever. And it is very hard to continue to bring this work if people don't give. I want to our summer appeal is an online appeal. And we have currently raised just over $9,000 of a robust goal of $50,000. We really do need people to step up and give to support this. And it can be through many small donations or larger donations, but we really need that continued giving to continue the work. And hopefully you've heard about great interim plans, as there's a lot of change going on, but we still want to receive gifts that help keep this work going. So thank you for all of your support so far, and we look forward to it in the future too.
Thank you so much, Andrea. I really appreciate it. And, the work that you're doing is also incredible. I've been privy to some meetings with Andrea and some other amazing arts organizers, artists, writers in the medical community. We've been in touch with Hackensack Meridian and Penn State Arts and Health, and they are the change makers on the forefront of literally scientifically, medically proving that the arts are crucial for mental health and for working through errors and difficulties and struggles. This is the kind of work that really gets us funding. These are all the same theories being proven by the NEA and MA with the Creative Forces grant. So absolutely incredible, amazing. I'm really proud that, we do this important work of changing lives through the arts. So thank you for that. And yes, absolutely, we need donations to support that. We have, gotten under the slim margin of 3 months of operating expenses in our accounts. So, when you get to that point, it's not the end, but it's very, very, very hard to weather any kind of emergencies or hiccups that happen. So we need to build those reserves back up, and we need that help to turn it around. So we really appreciate any size donation is a huge help. This campaign will go throughout the summer and is going to be a big boost for our incoming team. So thank you for that. And you can always go to frontlinearts.org/donate. You can donate on Facebook, on Instagram. Pretty much all of our platforms have the link front and center. So this is just the final thank you slide. And Lindsay put this together, and boy, it sure looks like we have a lot of fun at our organization, and we do. These pictures are all genuine moments. This is going to make me misty-eyed as well. We have had really, all these pictures are just from this past year. We've had just an amazing run. And I'll just say, the upper left, that's Dave DeMarchi teaching. In the middle is from our community day that we just had a few weeks ago. This is our awesome veteran team muscling through a downpour during our paper making. That's Lindsay and Kath on the right during the Amos Paul Kennedy workshops. The lower left was when we got to teach a youth workshop at For Youth in Delaware. It was a really touching, amazing workshop. The middle bottom one is from our 50th anniversary event at Mexicali Brews. We had an amazing team put that together as well. And the lower right is Mark Oldland at his opening. He has an amazing show up right now. Mark was our first veteran artist in residence in 22. And please come. You can come in person to the talk this Friday at 6, or you can tune into the live stream. We'll have lots of help with that live stream with multiple staff. And so thank you so much. I'm going to stop presenting the slideshow. If anyone wants to talk about anything live. And yes, echoing that, Janina, it's been amazing working with you. I don't work much more closely with anyone but our board president. So she stepped in after I worked with Dave as our president from 2019 to 22. And it's really been amazing. You have been my other brain with a lot of issues. We're always texting and calling each other up, and we have our Monday 9 a.m.s. And could not have done this without you, Janina. And thank you so much. You've got a lot going on, and you're taking on a lot with this transition work. So I really appreciate it. And thank you for being a friend as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge for a moment Daniel Elawar for joining us as a fellow board member. And so thank you for being here. And you know, I can go on and on about Rachel. And I think for anyone who is watching this video post this meeting, this live meeting, will get a sense of all the great work that everyone here has collectively done. in addition to those who are not able to join us right now, other teammates, volunteers, folks who have just graced our doors, graced our studio with their support and efforts. And I did want to just also acknowledge we have several other board members who weren't here able to join us. We have Angela Pilgrim, who is also an amazing artist in her own right, based out of Newark, New Jersey. Jennifer Fidel, who is a community activist, also has an amazing communications background. She's comes to us from, I believe, Maryland. This was part of our hybrid approach to board members can be from anywhere when we brought in our new folks. We have Jeff Pasquarelli, who is based out of New York and is a financial guru for us, definitely supporting us as also our treasurer on the board. And so thus makes up the entire team. I don't think I missed anybody. Obviously, you've met Andrea, you've met Daniel, and now you have myself, and potentially maybe a new member, Aladat. So definitely excited for where we're at, and transition for me always means change, and change is always great. I like change, but I know it can be a little sticky. But Rachel has put together an amazing transition plan. Also excited by the board the interim potential EDs that we'll be exploring and looking at this week as well. So lots of things happening, and this is a solid, amazing team, and I am looking forward to the next iteration, evolution of Frontline Arts. And so that's my 2 cents. I'll stop talking. Also, muchas gracias for joining us this Sunday morning, because this is a lot to do in the morning. So thank you, Andrea, because I know it's really early for you, girl. So thank you for that. And so I'll hand this back to anyone else who wants to just take a moment to share their own thoughts and feelings.
I just want to thank Rachel for having done so much for the organization and for so many of us. And we love you, and we wish you the best.
Thank you so much. Ox.
All right. Well, I think if we've got everyone is good, and we feel like we've absorbed so much about what's happening. If you've got questions post this meeting, please feel free to reach out to us. Available online. My dog Sandy, this is what happens when you do things virtually. She's also sharing her love for Rachel as well at Frontline Arts. So it's got a lot to say. So I'll go off mic. I just want to say thank you. Have an amazing Sunday, everyone.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Hey,